Hello everyone, it's Phil Zio again, and I'm here to show you a review of Audio Assault's newest amp sim, Bulldozer, which is hot off the heels of its predecessor, Dominator. The differences between this one and that one are few. The UI is pretty much the same. The amp itself is a little different. The preset system works exactly the same. And all the pedals seem to be in order. So not a ton has changed since then, but I will say they have made a number of noticeable improvements. First off, here it is with my dialed in tone. German cab, which is the 412, dynamic 421, which is an MD 421, and the mic right around here. You'll notice as I move it around, one thing I really like about this particular amp sim is it seems like they've actually done something since Dominator's come out, or they've changed something about the amp algorithm itself, because the output of the highs and the presence knobs don't destroy my ears nearly as much as Dominator's did when I tried to put it on the cap. Now what we have right here is a nice beefy tone. You'll notice that I don't have the low pass set all that high, and I don't have the high pass set all that high. It's really not that crazy. If I enable and disable the tube screamer, you can hear a definite difference. When I enable it, you can hear a definite mid punch, which is exactly what most people use a tube screamer for anyway. Besides these pedals, which really haven't changed all that much since the last time, I really want to get into what the amp is doing differently. So you'll notice now there's a channel A and a channel B, but the channel A is completely different than the last channel A. The last channel A had a little bit different tonality, as in the one in Dominator, but this time, if you switch to channel A, you get an actual dedicated clean to crunchy channel. And you scoop the mids, it actually sounds like a decent mid scoop. Before, it would just disappear if I scooped the mids on Dominator. So I really like what they've done with Bulldozer so far. Push it a little harder. You get a decent blues rock sound. Combine it with a tube screamer. Or a distortion pedal. You get a passable hard rock tone. Combine the two. Nasty fuzz. Alright, switching back to the B channel, you'll be able to hear that the tonal shaping options are pretty good. Right now you've got a beefy but a little bit high end. There we go. You've got a presence knob, which sounds like a high shelf at around like 3K, 4K. You've got a high knob, and the high knob actually only manipulates around 2.5K, so it sounds like a bell curve at 2.5K, and it looks like it too when you open up a spectral analyzer. You can really hear the difference it makes. the mids are around 1K and the lows are around 200 hertz or just around there. But this drive knob is real sensitive. Listen to the difference you can make. There's really a variety of tonal options here that are really cool, and I do like that you have more options than with Dominator. That's not to say Dominator was a bad sim, of course. I did like it, but this has a lot more of what I was looking for, which is just basically refinement, a clean channel, things like that. Now, this also has a max switch, which, listen to what it does. It just sounds like a lead boost switch. I don't really know what it's doing, but it sounds like it's giving it just a tiny bit of gain, possibly. Maybe contouring it a little bit, but I don't know for sure. The real interesting feature here is the power knob, which sounds like it's accentuating lows and highs, creating more of a scooped feel without really sacrificing the mids. So listen to what happens as I adjust the power knob. Honestly, what it's doing reminds me of the dimension button, the power dimension on a lot of those low to mid-range Marshalls. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. But it definitely does something just to make it fit in the mix a little better. So let me play it for you out loud here. Without, with. So you can really make it stand out a lot more in the mix. And as I'll move this a little bit closer to the cap just so I can get a feel for that. It's definitely doing something to accentuate the overall tonal feel of it. So anyhow, going through the different cabs, you've got more of the same. You've got the same ones as before. German, British, American, and Japanese. This time I'm using the German because I feel like it fits in context of the mix. You've got the options of mics being 57, a T1, a 121, and a 421, which I'm using for this mix. But you've also got the ability to load IRs as usual. Again, you can't move the mic when you have an IR. But I like that German cab because I think it just sounds muy bueno. So, as you go through the song, you'll notice that when the lead part comes in, you'll notice that the fade out sounds pretty excellent there. But you'll notice even more so that that is a horrifying, wonky tone. Listen to that soloed. Now, I have that through channel B, which is maximum overdrive switch enabled, with the drive cranked all the way, and the presence pretty high, and the highs high, and the mids cranked, and the power cranked. and I have it going through the raunchy 412 that was included with the IRs. And low passed a little bit, high passed a lot, cranked the volume, and then I have all these effects going on. I think that whatever they did between Dominator and now really made the pedals a lot more viable, especially in a song like this where I really want the lead to have that unsettling, dark, creepy feeling. And boy, does it deliver. Now, of course, I have it being auto-tuned, and I had slightly flattened the strings when I tuned it so that when I played the lead, it would create that strange warbling effect, which, let me just turn that off and show you. So that it has that feeling of almost hitting the pitch and falling into it. But that added on with these effects that I never intended to put on it. This is how it would sound without the effects, straight into the amp. Boost it. Adding a chorus, which starts to make it sound real creepy, real freaky. Double it after the chorus. Add a tremolo. And then reverb. The tail on that is fantastic. I loved being able to mess around with this reverb pedal here, which really captures the tone of like a blackface plate reverb or a spring reverb style thing. So nice. Oh my goodness. Just even after it's done, the tail goes. Ooh, and that decay is sweet. I really like it. I like the variety of tonal effects that you can use in this particular sim and how it works so much better. I didn't use the delay this time just because I didn't feel like it was necessary, and you're limited to these 5 options of placement. But of course, you still have the wah, the reverb, the delay, the doubler, the tremolo, the chorus, the distortion, the compressor, the screamer, and the boost pedal, half of which I used here. And a couple of which I used on the rhythm tracks. Overall, I think this is a really, really tight direction that they're going in. I like how the overall sim sounds. I like how it blends together well. Listening to how I didn't even automate the rhythm guitar tracks down. I just left them the way they were for the lead part. There's that delay again. And overall, I think Bulldozer does a great job of making an incremental improvement over Dominator. Dominator still sounds good and has its place, but the ability to manipulate the tone with Bulldozer, I don't know, it might be me, but something just clicked this time. I honestly don't know how much has actually changed in between iterations. Even though I really liked Dominator and I said I suggest getting it on sale, I think Bulldozer is worth the price of admission totally and completely. I got it on sale for $5, but I think it's pretty close to being worth 50 bucks, especially when I can get lead tones like this out of it. Ah, yeah, and fulfill my gnarly, disgusting, distorted dream desires. If you have any other things you want to see, let me know. Leave suggestions down below. I'm all up for it. Honestly, I think Audio Assault's going in a great direction. You may notice that they recently discontinued or at least took down Grind Machine. So I think they're focusing on making these all-in-one packages that focus on a single amp at a time. I hope they go back to doing the Grind Machine way of implementing a whole bunch of different amps, but can't say I'm disappointed when they put their effort into making a single amp at a time, because so far it's been fantastic. And if anybody wants some presets, I can leave them down below, but you're going to have to ask. I'll see you later, and have a wonderful day.